Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 31 of Season 4 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, also Chase Race number 5. I am Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Carhartt 200 here at Sawmill Speedway, the new and improved Sawmill Speedway, as we're getting set for 17 laps of racing here at one of the best road courses in the entire series. But before we look at the starting lineup, as per, we got to take a look at the point standings as they look coming into the race today, especially the chase standings. So after last week at Charlotte, Joshua Sekuli extends his points lead further. He leads by 24 points over Tim Fiegel, 27 over Dylan Poteet, 33 over Johnny Gardner, 46 over Dylan Young, 51 over both the pole sitter for today, William Brock, and Sean Galligan, 55 over James Quall, 71 over Rafael LeDuc, 72 over James McLeod, 73 over Dylan Jacobs, 74 over both Kyle Matthews and Zach Flickinger, and 89 over Chris Stollerton. So this race is going to be a bit of a do-or-die race for a lot of the drivers in the back half of the points, to try and gain some ground back in order to find themselves back into the hunt for the championship. But let's take a look at the starting lineup. Starting in the top 10, William Brock is on the pole with Kyle Matthews starting right next to him. Row 2, Dylan Thoreau and Dorian Facepuncher. Row 3, Dylan Jacobs and Preston Plord. Row 4, Dylan Young and the points leader Joshua Sekuli. And then row 5, Sean Galligan and Joshua Michaels. But let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Carhartt 200 at Sawmill.
Drivers, start your engines.
All 42 cars rolling on the racetrack for their quarter pace lap around here. Now this turn especially is where the majority of the excitement can really happen as far as who can make a pass for position. As the pace car pulls in the pit road, and ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. It is time to boogity 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 go racing. So William Brock leads the first lap and has a little over a 3/4 of a second lead over Kyle Matthews. As the top 5 did get shuffled a little bit, Dylan Thoreau up to 3rd and Dylan Jacobs moving up to 4th, and Facepuncher dropped to 5th. Meanwhile, we got a battle raging on for the 6th position between Preston Plord in the 24 and Dylan Young in the 2. Dylan Young trying to make up ground in the chase standings, is right behind him Sean Galligan, and then right behind him, who's under attack from Emmanuel Hartnett for the 9th spot, and now for 10th from James Shelley is Joshua Sekuli, who started in the top 10 and is now going to probably fall out of the top 10. So early on, not really a whole lot of motor underneath the 82, as he's been bypassed for several spots here in the early going. But I guess we'll see how his race will progress. Meanwhile, side by side for 7th between Preston Plord and Sean Galligan. Sean Galligan's one of those many drivers in the back half of the chase standings that is trying to get back into the title hunt, because after this race we will have been halfway through the chase and we still got 5 races left after today. And for those wondering the remaining schedule, we have Richmond coming up, which will be interesting, and then Texas, Pikes Peak, California, and then, as usual, the finale at Kansas. But when we get to lap number 8, that will be when we're going to take our commercial break for the race on lap 8, which will be 5 more laps. Or maybe 4 more laps. But either or, now William Brock has extended his lead to a little over a second over Kyle Matthews. And a few of those drivers in the top 5 are starting to reel in the 42 a little bit. Dylan Thoreau trying to shrink that gap down, but Dylan Jacobs, he's got a bit of power underneath that motor right now as he's closing in on the 6 car for the 3rd spot, and Dorian Facepuncher at the same time is closing in on Dylan Jacobs for the 4th spot. As we look around, Joshua Sekuli now trying to get back into the top 10 as he goes underneath Preston Plord, and it looks like he's going to take that spot. So that moves the 82 back into the top 10. So let's take a look at all the different margins of the top 5 right now. But yeah, you can tell the big closer in a battle right there is Dylan Jacobs. As my phone goes off. Anyways, battle's on for 3rd. Dylan Jacobs has got to run underneath Dylan Thoreau. Dylan Jacobs is another one of those guys trying to make up ground in the championship standings. I believe from what I read, he was about 73 points out of the points lead. And while he ain't going to gain a whole lot, he's still going to gain some ground on the points leader going into Richmond next week. But nonetheless, William Brock has a monstrous lead now over Kyle Matthews. But you do got to wonder if these drivers will have to pit at some point to get tires and gas, which I'm thinking they could, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting situation if it comes down to that. Meanwhile, Dylan Jacobs, he's now trying to reel in Kyle Matthews for the 2nd spot. Kyle Matthews, on the other hand, he comes into this race 74 points out of the championship hunt. And right now he's having a solid performance going in 2nd, though he wish he could be the leader. But right now that leader is William Brock, who's another chase contender. And he comes into this race 51 points behind, and he hasn't yet to win a race this season. This is a golden opportunity for the 66 to finally reach victory lane after a couple of different hardships that happened to him, especially New Hampshire back in the beginning of the chase, where he finally got around James Qualls for the lead, but then green flag pit stops were afoot, and Dylan Poteet ran out of fuel, and the 66 hit the 31 when the 31 was practically stopped on the racetrack, and it cost him a shot at winning a race at New Hampshire. But right now he's looking for redemption, and he's doing a fantastic job keeping his car up at the front of the field. As we are approaching the lap 8 period of when we'll be taking our commercial break for this race, as we're coming off of the final corners here at Sawmill, and William Brock's going to come to the line to continue the race lead. Stick around, live action will be on the bottom of your screen. As we're going to commercial break, we'll be right back. Oh, God, I could really use some good quality entertainment, but all I got's $40. So, what the hell am I going to do? Who the fuck are you? Shut up! I'm King Fat, you stupid idiot! And since I heard your complaints that you're looking for some quality entertainment for a value of $40 or under, how about some good old-fashioned Zev Bellringer porn? I said shut up! Anyways, if you go to clipsforsale.com/75701, you can get plenty of good quality porn from the greatest porn star to ever live. Also happens to be my queen. You can get masturbation tutorials, you can get home wrecker videos, you can get all kinds of stuff. So what do you say? I said, what do you say? I don't know what to say to you. Didn't I tell you to shut up? If you want to see some classic Zev Bellringer porn, go to either clipsforsale.com/75701 or the easier link of ZevBellringerPorn.com. Trust me, you'll thank me later. That is ZevBellringerPorn.com or clipsforsale.com/75701. So the question on everybody's mind is, what would you do for a Snickers bar? Dude, I can't talk right now. I'm doing a commercial for Snickers, for fuck's sake. Would you stab yourself in the penis? Oh, I don't have a dick anymore. Worth it. What would you do for a Snickers bar? Hello, YouTube. For those of you who don't know who I am ThrashManiac99, and I love to talk wrestling, NASCAR, metal music, play games, as well as do commentary for races and commercials. And this is yet another commercial. If you want to watch videos of me raging... God fucking damn, Kyle Busch is in the Final Four of the title! And Denny Hamlin wrecked Chase Elliott! Fuck! 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 Ah! Ah! Talking pro wrestling, first, keep Roman Reigns the silent but deadly badass babyface he was during the Shield, and two, to get Roman Reigns the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 32. Comedy from King Fat. We have clickbait money for the fucking win! The Marvel Studios Cup Series represented by the NNSCRA. Metal reviews, but I am back here to review one of the most highly anticipated hard rock heavy metal albums of 2018. It is Judas Priest, Firepower, and gaming videos. Moving on.
Sounds like Carson's getting one right now.
God damn, this game has gone to hell.
And finally, commercials. What the fuck? There's a fucking crack in the fucking ceiling of my room. Then click that subscribe button now. If you want to enjoy the shit show that is the ThrashManiac99 YouTube channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button now, otherwise, I will probably punch you in the mouth. You want to buy a bottle, plastic or glass? Well, we sell bottles. We only sell bottles. Be sure to go to www.bottlesinc.com. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Welcome back to live action here at the Carhartt 200 at Sawmill Speedway, as we are now at 6 laps to go, and William Brock has extended his lead to almost 3 seconds over new second place driver Dylan Jacobs. It took him a few laps during that commercial break to finally get around Kyle Matthews for the second spot, and he finally made it work as Kyle Matthews falls back to third But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the full field rundown as we are approaching 5 laps to go here at Sawmill. William Brock has been your race leader pretty much all race long. Second is Dylan Jacobs. Third is Kyle Matthews. Fourth is Dylan Thoreau. Fifth is Sean Galligan. Sixth is Dorian Facepuncher. Seventh, James Shelley. Eighth, Dylan Young. Ninth, Emmanuel Hartnett. 10th, Joshua Sekuli. 11th, Joshua Michaels. 12th, Ryan George. 13th, Preston Plord. 14th, Johnny Gardner. 15th, Jay Jefferson. 16th, Matt McIntyre. 17th, Jessica Shelton. 18th is Shane Lake. 19th, Zachary Fitzwater. 20th, James Qualls. 21st, Tim Fiegel. 22nd, Jake Rogers. 23rd is Alex Ferranti. 24th is Charles Sanford. 25th is Benjamin Miles. 26th is Cody Lamas. 27th, Zach Flickinger. 28th, Rafael Leduc. 29th, John Cittadino. And then 30th is Pichu London. 31st, Phil Parker. 32nd, is Matt Haas. 33rd is Chris Dollarton. 34th, Seth Cole. 35th, Trent Dunham. 36th is Joshua Collard. 37th, Jonathan Zorline. 38th, Jake Baskinger. 39th, Carson Gum. 40th, James McLeod. 41st, Dylan Poteet. And then 42nd is DJ Curtis. As meanwhile, back at the front of the field with less than 5 laps to go, or actually less than 4 laps to go, is William Brock, still leading, and he leads by over 3 seconds now over the 78 of Dylan Jacobs. Closest battle in the top 10 that we got going. Actually, we got a battle between 2 Red Bull Racing teammates. The rookie Ryan George trying to get around the championship points leader, Joshua Sekuli, and made it work. So now that moves the 84 into the top 10. An extra point for guys like Dylan Young, Sean Galligan, Kyle Matthews, Dylan Jacobs, and William Brock to earn over the 82 in the point standings. Then the next closest battle we see on track, James Shelley. Big dive into the corner on the inside underneath of Dorian Facepuncher. And that is for the 6th position right there. Facepuncher has been kind of off balance so far in this run. Back up at the front though, Dylan Jacobs actually gained about nearly 7/10 of a second on William Brock. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get to him under green. He's going to have to hope that if these drivers have to come in the pit road, that he gets an excellent stop and the 66 has a slow stop. But I don't know if they're going to have to pit, because when we come to the line, it's going to be 2 laps to go. And I honestly don't see anybody coming in the pit road at this point. But we are now at 2 laps to go, and William Brock leads by a little over 2 3/4 of a second. So actually the 78 was slower on that lap right there. And whoa, look at this 3-car fight for 5th. For 4th, between Dylan Thoreau, Sean Galligan, and James Shelley. So this is 4th through 6th right now, racing for the 4th spot. But that moves Galligan up there, so that makes the top 5 all chase drivers. Or actually not the top 5, the top 4. Brock, Jacobs, Matthews, and now Galligan. Then the next highest running chaser is Dylan Young, and then Joshua Sekuli, then Johnny Gardner, then Tim Fiegel, then James Qualls, Zach Flickinger, Rafael Leduc, Chris Dollarton, James McLeod, and then Dylan Poteet. White flag is out here at Sawmill for William Brock. Lost a tiny bit of time, but still has a huge enough lead to the point where I don't think he's going to be passed. Like I said earlier, this is an attempt for the first win of the season for William Brock, and maybe the first win of his Marvel Studios Cup Series career. And what a huge win this will be, in dominating fashion here at Sawmill, starting on the pole and then going the distance. Like I said, William Brock had a couple of different hardships earlier this season, particularly just a few weeks ago at New Hampshire, where he got to the lead and then after pit stops and hitting a car that was practically stopped on the track due to no gas, cost him the win at New Hampshire. Well, nothing's going to take the win from him this time. Coming out of the final corners, the checkered flag is waving. William Brock wins the Carhartt 200 at Sawmill. And a huge momentum boost for that team going forward in the chase. First half of the chase done. We still got 5 more to go to determine the champion. But William Brock comes through for his first win of the season. Great performance by that car. But let's look at the rest of the results. Dylan Jacobs, who started 5th, managed to work his way up to 2nd, but I bet he wished they would have come in the pit road and maybe had a fast stop to be right on the back bumper of the 66, and we could have seen a classic battle for the win. But nonetheless, he still gets a great finish in 2nd. Kyle Matthews with a solid performance in the 3rd spot. How about Sean Galligan? He moved up, I believe, about 5 spots on track to finish 4th. And then James Shelley with a great run in the 5th position. Great run in 6th for Dylan Thoreau. Solid run in 7th for Dorian Facepuncher. Great run in 8th for Dylan Young. Highest finishing rookie Ryan George in 9th. And then Emmanuel Hartnett rounds out the top 10. Rest of the top 20 was Joshua Sekuli, Joshua Michaels, Preston Plord, Johnny Gardner, Jay Jefferson, Jessica Shelton, Matt McIntyre, Shane Lake, Tim Fiegel, Alex Ferranti. Rest of the top 30 was Jake Rogers, Zachary Fitzwater, Benjamin Miles, James Qualls, Charles Sanford, Cody Lamas, Rafael LeDuc, Zach Flickinger, John Cittadino, and Pichu London. Rest of the top 40 was Matt Haas, Phil Parker, Seth Cole, Trent Dunham, Joshua Collard, Jonathan Zorleen, Chris Dollarton, Carson Gum, James McLeod, Dylan Poteet, and then rounding out the field, Jake Baskinger and DJ Curtis. So that does it for our coverage today here at Sawmill Speedway for the Carhartt 200. Next week, it's the Chevy Rock and Roll 400 at Richmond. But until then, here are your results, rookie points and regular points heading into Richmond. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.